live. Welcome to the FBVtv podcast, Season 2, Episode 7. We always have a hard time keeping up with which number it is, and there's always a disagreement, and then we always have to go back to the channel to see, wait, what was the number of the last episode? As always, I'm your host, Tom. To my right here is our co-host, Matt Sanchez, the Bear. Oh, he's not here. Shit. He might be here. We'll see. He said he's going to be running a little bit late, but that's all right. We're going to get started without him. I have two guests with us this afternoon. Over here on the left side is Mr. Brandon. He's a former 25 series guy that I used to work with, and then he moved into my house temporarily, and it happened that fast. It really did. So say hello.
Hello.
All right. That's good. Thanks, Brandon. So we're going to move on to Uncle Junior. That's how he'll be. That's his pseudonym and how he'll be referenced for the rest of the evening to ensure that, any law enforcement agencies that might be looking for him or anything like that don't know who he is. Oh, shit. We forgot to turn the light off and do the silhouette thing that you had requested.
All I asked for was the black line across my face.
Oh, well, this is live. We can't do that. I mean, I got construction paper in the house. We can cut something out. But
don't worry. Everything I did, the statute of limitations is probably already up.
Oh, well, they're good. We're good then.
Yeah.
So this is Uncle Junior.
Or at least for tonight it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course, I'm not going to tell anyone your real name, Robert, so don't worry about Yeah. I won't tell anyone your real name.
My name is Engelbert.
Engelbert?
Engelbert.
Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Engelbert Roberts. There you go. Yep. Birth date is anyway. So yeah, we'll get this thing rolling. So first and foremost, what we normally do on the podcast, I don't know if you've actually watched any of the episodes or like skimmed over them or anything. It's only been going on for 2 seasons, so there's only been like 14 episodes for you to watch. So just out of curiosity, Brandon, have you seen an episode?
I have not.
Ah, it's such a great friend. He's one of my closest friends. Definitely. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? Thanks, Jerry, for the support and obfuscating the fucking name. That's awesome. Jerry was like, hell, Uncle Ramsey. So it's too late.
Man.
It's too
all
late
right,
now.
I'm out.
Yep. Yeah, he's already fucking.
I'm out.
So no, it's customary on the podcast, Brandon, that whenever we have someone who served in the armed forces, that they kind of just give us a basic rundown of, what you did, when you joined, what you did, kind of what units you were in or whatever, a basic rundown of kind of your military career, why you joined, so on and so forth. Just like a little brief kind of essay on that.
Sure.
600 words or less.
Sounds great. So I'm
counting. Sorry.
I enlisted in the Army in 2006. I just wanted to do something for my country and do something a little bit different than what I was doing at the time.
Get a little bit closer. There you
go.
Make love with the microphone.
So I enlisted in 06.
Gotcha.
As a 25 Fox, which is a completely useless MOS. I don't think it even exists
It doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore, I don't think. No.
For
They
anyone not in the
that.
know, it's basically phone switching systems. But right out of AIT, I got stationed at 112 Signal Battalion, so Special Operations, Communications. Never did any 25 Fox work. It was all 25 Bravo.
Of course.
It's
It's plugged into the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was yours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 112th was kind of a different animal for a 25 series. It was
Right.
like, down in the weeds. You have to run, your whole stack top to bottom.
Right.
And then I had an opportunity to go reclass to 25 Bravo.
There you go. I can hear you because we're in the same room, but
Yeah, that's fair.
Our one viewer would like to hear you too.
Yeah, so I went to reclass. Well, reclass to 25 Bravo after deploying with 112.
Right.
Going through ICND 1 and 2 with 112.
Right.
So 25 Bravo course, not difficult.
No.
It was a nice vacation. down in Fort Gordon.
A plus, net plus,
Oh yeah,
basically.
basically.
This is a hard drive. This is an IP address.
Here is how you make a Cat5 cable.
Yeah, exactly. This is what you'll be doing with your entire lower enlisted career.
Yeah. So once I got back from that, well, actually, luckily, I was in 25 Bravo school when my company deployed.
Right.
So it kept me out of a second deployment.
That's good.
And they were getting ready to redeploy when I came back, but that's when I got attached and pulled up to 528.
Yep.
To work in the S6 shop there.
And that's when we met.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
You were going through the 25 Bravo course, the admin course.
Yeah, the thing that I'm not sure exists anymore either.
Oh, guarantee you it doesn't.
Yeah.
100% it doesn't. That the building doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah, that,
The street the building was on doesn't exist anymore. That was what, Merrill Street? Delta
Marion?
Marion. No.
Because Merrill Street is farther down. That's where...
Oh, I was thinking of Merrill Streep. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a Merrill Street. It's just... a few down.
It's down over closer towards like Lay Street, where the holdovers were and shit for Swick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marion. You're right. Delta 2008 or 2004.
So the 528 building was 2004.
Okay. Trying to remember.
I don't remember. I don't know any of the...
I think it was
anything
2000.
from those super old buildings that were back there.
It was the same building. We were in the same building. No. We weren't.
Because the headquarters was...
Yeah.
You were in like that horseshoe, like super, like 200-year-old...
The
stack.
3-tier brick barracks. Yeah.
Yeah,
old
they're
barracks.
full of asbestos probably.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I spent a couple of years there, and then I did probably the smart choice and got out when my contract was up.
Yeah. That's the way to go. If you're any good at your job, that's the way to go in a 25 series.
Absolutely. And it was hilarious, too, because every time retention would come by to see me, like, can you do this or this or this? Like, no. Okay. I'm still leaving.
But we have this cool backpack.
Yeah.
Look at all the zippers. It has this awesome Army logo on it. Hang on, I had a backpack down here for this gag.
That's what got me the backpack.
Was it? Yeah.
Is
That
it one
makes
of the
sense.
single strap ones you get from recruiting that you can't actually wear? in
Yeah, you're not
uniform?
even allowed to wear it in uniform. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I love that one. It's like, oh yeah, you in initial entry training at any fucking TRADOC base, it was if you were a trainee, you had to have both straps. You weren't allowed to do the one strap thing because it looked unprofessional. And so literally in the fucking policy, it states 2 straps must be worn at all times. And they're giving initial entry trainees 1-strap backpacks that are designed to go across like a sash.
Also, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, it specifically states you can't wear anything that goes across
Your chest. That's correct, because it could cover up your rank and all that.
unless
Yeah.
it's a PT belt.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You have to be seen, See, you might. So Uncle Junior isn't familiar with the nuances and the terrible policies that were in the Army at the time.
Nope, no, I'm not. But I know I was smart enough to stay the hell out.
Well, you have a lot of the items that these policies were covered under, though.
Yes, I do. I have a storage room full of stuff. Yes.
So you know the PT belts, right? The reflective belts.
The reflective belt. Yeah.
Yeah. So there used to be policies, they don't exist anymore, thank God, where even if you're deployed, you had to be wearing one at all times so that a vehicle didn't run you over. Even in broad daylight, right, by the way. Even at certain locations downrange where there were still ground attacks going on, where,
Nice.
people were getting shot at from outside of the
Right.
wire,
Right.
you still had to wear a PT belt. Yeah, no big deal,
Well,
Yeah.
like I said, that's why I just steered clear. I did 18 years with my old man as my drill sergeant.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was no way I was going to go spend more time having somebody yell at me and tell me what to do, or
Right.
especially what I couldn't do.
Right.
No, not at all.
We got our live production going on over here. Just on the lights. Is it too
Nice.
bright? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's because I'm so pasty white because I stay inside all the time. You can turn the white down and leave the yellow up and make it look like I got some color. I swear I'm Italian.
No, you don't know that yet, do you?
To quote one of my friends, Esteban, I have the complexion of a halogen light bulb.
It does work.
Oh man, I read that and almost pissed my pants. I was like, wow, I resemble that remark, and it's also hilarious. But no, so yeah, please continue. Like, what did you end up doing? Why'd you end up deciding to get out? Was it for career choice, kind of?
Well, yeah. A lot of it was just promotion potential in the Army, especially.
You might want to blow that out.
Especially in that particular job series, was basically none.
This one should be good too.
So, I was like, if I actually want to, make some money,
right?
I'm probably going to have to leave and use my technical expertise,
right?
To do something else.
Do the same job for more money, not have to shave because you can actually grow a beard.
Yeah,
and not have to wear a fucking. At the time, they were ACUs or they were the UCP or whatever, right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, ACUs.
Wear grandma's couch camouflage.
Yeah, and no, can't even roll up your sleeves.
Yeah, which you can do all that now. It's like
it's crazy.
It's crazy. All the things that we wanted to do when we were in, and the camo is so good and so advanced that it's almost gone all the way back to 1984. Woodland camo, when you advance so far that you go back to what you had, that's how that works.
No, it's a little more brown than green these days, but
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. So, what did you end up doing when you got out?
Really not fuck all for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really wanted to, you.
The look on Jared's face right now. He lit up like a fucking Christmas tree when he saw the Jack Daniels.
So I really wanted to, utilize my GI Bill, and I did a 5-year contract to max out what was then the Army College Fund, which they discontinued while I was in. However,
makes sense.
I did get more money in housing allowance when I was finishing school,
right?
Because I had that.
Can you rinse both of those out? Because I need a glass too.
So it took me a while to really kind of decide what direction I wanted to go with school,
right?
Because a part of me kind of wanted to get out of the IT realm and try to do something else,
which you ended up doing. So, kinda.
Well. Kind of ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew I didn't want to do networking.
Yeah, oh God.
That is the most boring, soul-sucking thing.
As long as I've been in IT, I still don't do networking. I do network diagrams and stuff because I have a conceptual knowledge of networking and how it works. But if you handed me a switch and a router, a Cisco switch and a Cisco router, and said, "Hey, set these up to talk and set up EIGRP and this, that, and the other," I'd be like, "Okay, sure, no problem." But you start telling me to do like the advanced shit, anything like CCNA level or lower, sure, I can knock that out because that's all 25 Bravo shit, But anything beyond that, nope, I'm good. Hey, go set up a GRE tunnel. A GRE what? I don't even know what that is. Sorry.
Oh, I think I could probably still set up, BGP.
Right.
Because we were having to do all that.
Yeah.
Deploy.
If I have access to Google, I can do it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of that stuff is easy. The funny thing is the one thing I can't do with a piece of Cisco equipment is set it up using the GUI.
Really?
Yeah, I have to have command line.
Well, yeah, that's how I've learned, but I would imagine, the GUI is really just pushing commands the same way you would.
It is, but there's too much
It's more
clicking.
limited.
It's
more
way
limited.
easier to just type.
Yeah, you're right.
Done.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sure the GUI is
and-
probably way better than it was the last time I saw it.
And if you're trying to go through like the running config and you just want to see everything like an IP brief or whatever, you're going to have to click on 6 different pages to go to these different things to see what they are on the GUI. Whereas command line,
Show run.
boom, Done. And you just scroll through your shit and you say, okay, VLANs are good, everything. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. So I did.
See, you don't know what the fuck we're talking about now.
I don't have a clue. It's just like when you and the other two nephews talk. It's all abbreviations and letters that don't actually make up words.
Yep,
and,
that's true.
Yep.
That is true.
And we all sit here and go,
except Andre, because Andre knows all this shit.
Of course. But, the rest of us, normal people sit here and go like this.
So David Starling says, oh, hell, I've not seen Uncle Junior in over a quarter of a century.
I'm not that old. I may look like it, but I'm not that old.
What are you talking about? A quarter of a century is 25 years.
Yeah, I'm not that old. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus, a quarter of a century.
You talking? It's 25 years. What are you fucking
I'm not that old.
Yeah, you are. David, Steven's older brother.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
He hasn't seen you in 25 years, apparently.
I'm telling it's because he hasn't come around.
Yeah, David, you haven't come around. What the fuck? Yeah, you never went up to New York and saw him?
Never visited me. I've been down here 5 years. You haven't come and visited me,
Oh.
So.
Well, looks like the ball's in your court there, David.
Yep. When you come by, bring booze.
And it'll make it all okay.
25 years disappears.
That's right. Yeah. So what are you doing now in as much as you'd like to explain?
Work mostly.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm now a Department of the Army civilian. I can't really get into a lot of specifics, but
right.
I finished school. Still in tech, but now it's something I enjoy doing.
Gotcha.
I mostly just write code.
Hell yeah. Weird thing to enjoy, but
it's fun. It's like being a wizard.
Yeah.
Like I have actually seen it said that, being a programmer, you use an arcane language.
I write the texts that make magic happen.
Right. You write in an arcane language, make things happen, and if you get it wrong, you can destroy the entire world.
That's true, depending on what you have access to. You are absolutely right.
So, basically, I'm a wizard.
I agree. That does make sense. All right, so now... So let's move it to a more non-technical...
You guys can keep boring me. It's not a problem. I mean,
Let's talk a little less technical. Jared will enjoy this more, too, since, he doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about either.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Hey, Jared. Hey, everyone, raise your hand if you've ever produced a podcast. Who's the nerd? Raise your hand if you have your own YouTube channel. Really? I didn't know you had a YouTube channel.
There's one video on it. It was from when I was in school, and it's set to private.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about like an actual channel with a brand and,
I mean, it's real. It exists. I have one video with 2 views.
And they're both you.
One is me, and one is whoever graded that project.
Okay, gotcha. Now
it was terrible. No one wants to see it.
So what was it for? What class was it for?
It's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
Because now I'm really curious and I want to see this video.
I know what the subject matter of the class was. I just can't remember.
Yeah, what was the video about? What was it?
Well, it was basically just a video presentation. It was essentially like a public speaking class.
Okay, gotcha.
But it had to be like a presentation on a subject.
Okay. What was the subject?
Mosquitoes and how we don't need them.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
It kind of...
It's right up my fucking alley.
Yeah,
That's right up... Everyone at the table can agree to that.
It's right
one.
up everybody's alley, and you said you were a wizard, so why the fuck do we still have goddamn mosquitoes?
Hey, I think they're working on it. When I did that assignment, there was some stuff going on in labs with mosquitoes that I think they're actually putting into action now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because aren't they just trying to breed the mosquitoes to basically kill themselves off for the most part? Isn't that something I saw some initiative on that?
Basically,
because they kill more people than any animal in the entire world.
Yeah, basically
by like tenfold or some shit.
Yeah.
If they haven't already, because I actually saw an interesting article the other day, and the only reason I cared about it was because I did that assignment.
Right.
And I want to say it is in Florida, maybe.
That would make sense. Because Florida and mosquitoes.
And they're planning to release, a large number of genetically modified mosquitoes. And if I understand it correctly, so anybody's guess there, they're genetically modified so that they can breed.
Right.
However, their offspring will be sterile.
Gotcha. So eventually just kill a bunch of strains.
It's either that or they're genetically modified to where they can breed, but all of the offspring will be male.
Okay.
Which is basic. Might as well
sterile.
Be the same thing. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, eventually, over the course of several decades, they'd pretty much all just die off.
Well, I mean, they don't live for very long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
Unless you get like a mosquito Jurassic Park situation, where life finds a way.
Oh, Fort Polk, where the mosquitoes are as large as house cats. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Brian, who's dealing with that right now again, and
also shout out to Ashley and Joe. You don't know them, but they're two of my very good friends, and they are getting ready to leave Fort Polk.
Ah, man. Anywhere they're going is better than Fort Polk.
To Fort Leavenworth.
That's fine. It's still better than Fort Polk.
Depends. Which way are you going? You
yes. How? What's that paperwork look like that's sending them that way? Is it signed by a commander, or is it signed by something else?
I believe it's for ILC, because Joe's an officer.
Okay, there you go. All
so
right.
I believe he will be going to ILC. That's the only reason I can think of that he would be going to Fort Leavenworth.
Gotcha. Hey, Isaiah, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining the podcast, brother. Appreciate you checking us out. All right, so let's change the mood here a little bit to, again, a little less technical, a little less Army. So, Junior. Uncle Junior.
Me?
Oh, yeah, you.
You mean I have to talk?
Yeah, that's why you're on the fucking podcast.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're also here for security, but, speaking of...
Security?
It's a nice segue, right?
That was decades ago. No.
That was a quarter of a century ago.
That's a quarter of a century ago.
That's right.
So, yeah, I've done some security. Like real security, and then the security where you just stand there and look like you're security.
Yeah, deterrence is, 90% of working security.
Yeah, I didn't deter anything. I had a uniform on. I was down in Wall Street. I had a shaved head, and that job lasted about maybe 6 weeks because I shaved my head, and then they were like, you don't fit the look. And
really?
I'm like, all I need to do is stand here with my uniform on, which isn't even a security uniform. It was a blazer and slacks.
Right.
And they said I just didn't have the look anymore because I went from...
What are you talking about? Every security guard I've ever seen is bald.
I went from a buzz cut to I went bald.
Right.
I used my Norelco one time to see what it would look like.
Yeah.
And I lost the job because I shaved my head.
Wow.
That's pretty good. But I've lost a lot of jobs.
Did you have tattoos at the time?
Yes, but
that's probably why.
No,
they were like, "Look at this skinhead racist."
No. They were covered up. They were probably on my chest.
Oh, gotcha.
No,
okay.
No, it wasn't until I got the civil service job and then decided, I was going to stay driving a bus. That I was like, well, this is my career, and they can't fire me. So down below the sleeves, up above the neck, anything I wanted, and. Started rolling up my short sleeve shirts even in the wintertime and drove the bus like this,
Yeah.
So, did a lot of security. Mostly in bars where there were drunk people. And,
of course.
You see me, I'm sitting there telling you, you're too drunk. I know because I've drank more than you.
I've been there, yeah.
So let's see. I'm going to go on his line. My career. I started.
Yeah, what made you want to start working in bars? And how long did you do it?
Well, let's see. My first job in a bar is what really set the mood for me working in a bar.
Right.
Because I had a friend, and he's like, hey, if you're looking for work, and I was like, well, I hardly ever work, so yeah, I'm looking for work.
Right.
He goes, my mom runs a bar up on Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights. And I'm like, all right, yeah, what do they? She goes, oh, they need a bar back. And I was like, what the hell's a bar back do? They
go get
cleans
ice
up the
and
ice
fucking,
and,
grabs
cleans up the
glasses.
drinks. I'm like, yeah, not a problem. So I go up to this bar, and it's called let's see, what the hell was it? It was the Cozy Cabin.
Oh, wow.
And
it didn't look like a cozy cabin, did it?
It was absolutely cozy inside.
Hey, Mike, what's going on, brother?
It was a nondescript little building, but the Cozy Cabin. And so I'm going in thinking I'm going to be a bar back.
Right.
Which I ended up being. But I walked through the door, and behind the bar, there's a stage.
Okay.
And there was a beautiful girl dancing on the stage. And I was like, I want this job. I want this job bad. And so I got the job. And the bar back stands right behind the bar doing the glasses and moving things around and filling ice. And it was nice being this close to girls trying to get to the guys on the other side of the bar to make their money. And I'm like, oh, am I in your way? Sorry. Yeah, and so I realized how fun it was to hang out in a bar. And then I got another job in a bar, and it was not so cozy.
Yeah.
No, that second place I worked for a few years, and it was, you could probably describe it as like a bucket of blood.
Okay. One of those joints.
Yeah, if the kind of place where if this person here and this person here starts to have a fight, everybody joins in. Mm-hmm. Look out! There could be bottles flying from the back of the bar.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. There's, good Lord, a whole number of stories I could tell you about. But I'm supposed to be politically correct. I'm also supposed to make sure that I don't talk about the things that the statute of limitations probably isn't up on.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I talk about a girl and a Galliano bottle?
I mean,
Galliano, if you don't know, I'm not even going to wait for the answer because I'm not going to say anything specific.
Yeah.
A Galliano bottle is about yay tall. And
Damn, I already know where this is going. I already know.
And I walked in the bar one night, and everybody was in the back of the bar around the pool table. And
why?
Yeah, I wondered why
What's
too.
going on
I mean,
back there?
Steve never leaves the bar or the front door unattended.
Right.
Well, there was a really good reason why. A really good reason.
Jesus Christ.
But it was a fun place to work. A lot of guys. I talk like this and look like this.
Yeah.
And,
wise guys.
Yeah, and it was fun because, they'd come to the door and they'd want to get in, and I'd look at Steve, the bartender, and he'd give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And it made my job real easy.
Yeah.
I didn't have to see what the person was like.
Right.
If I got a thumbs up, you're more than welcome. If you got a thumbs down, not welcome. Oh, you don't like not being welcome. Fun time for me. So... But and then there were a couple of other bars, and then finally got a real job, driving a bus, for New York City, which was.
You look like a New York City bus driver. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, no, I don't.
Not anymore.
No, I don't. No, this is exactly what I looked like when I drove the bus, except that I had a blue shirt on. It was way worse than any bar I've ever worked in.
Just as much alcohol consumption and pissing in corners.
Yes, and food on the bus and crazies and but I wasn't allowed to get out from behind the steering wheel.
Right.
If I got out from behind the steering wheel, I was in trouble.
Right.
No matter what anybody tried to do to me. Excuse me.
You still did though.
Several times. Absolutely. But then after working there for a while, I found out that if you get assaulted while driving the bus, while on the clock,
right?
If you get assaulted,
you can stop the bus and.
No. If you get assaulted, period, while you're on the clock, in your uniform, you can get time off, paid.
Right.
So I went on a campaign of trying to get assaulted. And, other bus operators would be like, you can't, if somebody tries to hit me, I'm going to hit them back. I was like, oh, no. Oh, absolutely not. I'm not going to. And
park the bus, walk off, and say, bye.
Yeah, Vic, they were like, Vic, what do you mean? I was like, somebody reaches over that little crowd control bar and stuff.
Right.
If they start reaching over and hitting me, I'm going to curl up and cry and let them hit me.
Piss yourself.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Every hit that they give me on my on the right side, I'll hit my head on the side of the window. Because I figured, with my acting skills, every punch was easily 6 to 8 weeks off. Paid. I mean, excuse me, Doc, every time I hear the sound of compressed air that they use to operate the doors.
PTSD.
So, I had a lot of experiences where I tried, let's put it this way, I couldn't buy an attack.
Right.
I mean, I had...
Well, yeah, because look at you.
I had seriously mentally deranged people get on my bus and threaten me after I told them how much the fare was.
Right.
Because if they don't pay the fare...
They're not riding the bus.
Transit says, No, I'm not a fare enforcement agent.
Right.
I'm just supposed to tell them how much the fare was.
Okay.
So... when they put in a quarter or they don't pay it all, and then walk to the back and I tell them, excuse me, sir, the fare was whatever, $2, whatever. You're trying to embarrass me, blah, 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 blah. And I would confront them. I'd say, well, you're the lowlife that isn't paying your fare and blah, 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 blah. You're the one that should be embarrassed. Well, I'm not trying to embarrass you. You are embarrassed.
You embarrassed yourself, yeah.
And, I mean, I've had guys... One specific guy had a little tool bag, and he was like, you watch, I got something for you in this bag when I get off this bus. And at that point, I jammed on the brakes and stopped the bus right in the middle of the road, put the emergency brakes on, and turned around and sat there and said, listen. And then there's got to be 40 people on the bus with me. And I was like, well, if you have something in the bag, don't be a pussy. Don't wait to do it behind my back or from behind. Take whatever you got in that bag, take it out. Please take it out and use it on me. Because if it doesn't spit lead, I'm going to kill you with it. I will kill you with it. And the guy got upset, walked off the back of the bus. And I'm sitting there like, I can't buy one. I mean, I think if I honestly offered money, they would turn it down. The girl sitting in the front seat was like, you're crazy. What if he pulled the gun out and started shooting everybody? I was like, why would he shoot you? He's mad at me.
If he was going to shoot you, he would have shot you whether we had this confrontation or not.
Exactly. And there's just a lot of stories from that bus.
What's going on, Austin? Thanks for stopping by, brother.
It was fun now when I think back on it.
Right, yeah.
But not fun when I was there.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Now I got to ask.
Okay.
What is the teetotal, over-the-top, craziest moment that you ever had driving the bus? If that's not it, it's going to be good.
Let's see.
So there was this bottle.
There was a Galliano bottle.
Right? And this girl I knew from the bar. Everyone on the bus was crowded in the back corner. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I left the steering wheel alone and went in the back to see what was going on.
The bus was still riding down fucking 26th Street.
No, I was going down Casino Boulevard one time and had some cabbie, which, of course, the only people in New York that are crazier than the actual bus drivers are the cab drivers. Yeah. He cut me off a couple of times going down several blocks, and obviously after 3 or 4, I was ready for murder. Yeah. We all get stopped at a traffic light that I know is a long light.
Right.
So he's 3 cars ahead of me. So I pop the brake, I open the doors, I jump off the bus, and I'm next to his cab. He sees me coming and rolls his window up, and I'm standing there punching his window as hard as I could. And I guess cab windows are pretty damn strong because it would not break. And so I tear his mirror off. I'm screaming at him. I'm kicking his door, denting in his door. Now, I'm 3 seconds ago driving the bus.
Right.
I'm in the middle of the road, kicking him. I'm in uniform, kicking the door, denting in the door, snapping the mirror and everything. Light turns green. He takes off. I turn around to walk back to the bus, and it was like a cartoon. Every passenger had their face in that windshield. Somewhere in that windshield, there wasn't a piece of windshield that you could see through except their faces. And when I turned to go back, they scramble. I walk back two or three car lengths, and I go and I step up on the bus, and I mean everybody on that bus was like this. Like when the teacher came back into the classroom, man. Yeah. And I did not hear a peep out of anybody for like a half hour. Everybody just got off the bus. They'd get off the bus and walk as far away from the bus driver as he could. Yeah.
Hey, that's lesson learned, though. Because anytime you were driving and people were being stupid on the fucking bus, you knew when you got to that stoplight, you could just get out and start beating the shit out of a random cab and then walk back to your bus and everyone will shut the fuck up.
No, there were actually times when I was like, if something was stressing me out, you're supposed, safety is the number one thing. So, after I learned how to use all of transit's rules in my favor, which was an amazing education to use their rules against them.
Right.
I wasn't feeling safe at the time. So I pulled the bus over with, a full standing load of people and took a 5-minute break because I had to cool down and left those people sitting there on that bus.
Jesus
and
Christ.
They're all yelling or they're mad or somebody cut me off. I got to be safe. Dispatcher would come up. Ramsey, what are you doing standing outside the bus with a whole... Trying to catch my breath, boss. Just catching my breath, boss. Otherwise, I was going to run somebody over. Okay. Catch your breath. Okay, take it easy. You shouldn't be saying that. I'm like, just being honest, boss. But, it was actually a lot of fun using all their rules against them.
Yeah. I'm sure that job is stressful as they fucking come.
Man, you've got the traffic, which is New York traffic, which obviously...
That alone for me is enough to make me fucking
insanity.
Yeah.
It is insanity. Then you have transit, who they spend a retarded amount of money training you.
Right.
And retraining you every year. It's great. They give you a retraining day.
Right.
So I work the night shift, and I get out of work at like 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
They want me up in the Bronx at the training center at 7 o'clock in the morning so I can show them that I still know how to drive the bus that I just got done driving less than 8 hours ago.
Right.
And then I'm going to go back to driving tomorrow.
Right.
And so they make you watch the same videos, yada, yada, yada. But
they check the box bullshit.
Yeah.
We did the same fucking thing every year in the Army.
Right. Yep. And
every year.
They make you sit there and watch the same videos.
Yep.
And I would always sit there and go,
here, we need to remind you how to not sexually harass people every year. And it's like...
No, they didn't have videos like that.
No, I'm talking about that was what it's like in the Army.
I would doze off. And the dispatchers would come in, or the teacher would come in, who's actually a ex-bus driver now, being a dispatcher or whatever, superintendent. Ramsey, you can't be sleeping. I was like, well, then maybe you shouldn't have your class at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning for a guy that got out of work at 12.
Make your instructional videos more entertaining.
No, I was like, listen, I was driving the bus at midnight last night, and now it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm here. I'm a night shift guy. So why don't you guys have a class, since all we do is sit here and watch these stupid videos.
Yeah.
Just have one guy. I know how the seniority works. None of you senior guys that have been here 20 years want to work at night.
Right.
So get some little rookie guy who just came on the job to stand here and put the video cassette in.
Right.
And we can sit here and I'll be wide awake. Not a problem. I'll have my food, my drink. I'll be wide awake. Nah. So they would send you back up there and retrain you. And I forget where the hell we were going with that. What'd you ask me about that one?
What's going on, Chris? Appreciate you stopping by, man.
You had asked me something about...
Yeah, the craziest moment that you ever had.
I'm saying something about. Why was I talking about training? Oh, learning how to work the job, and just all their little rules that until you realized that the rules could be turned on them,
right?
You were all pissed off because they were stupid rules.
Right.
And then you turn around and you go, oh,
then
no,
you
wait.
take advantage of the stupid
You
rules.
learn, because I asked this guy, the senior guy.
Same fucking thing worked in the Army sometimes, too.
I'm
you
sure.
had to take advantage of those stupid regulations and rules and say, I've done that in my Army career before.
Yeah.
You have to.
Exactly.
You have to.
Because I had asked this senior guy in the Union, so tell me, if you can only tell me one thing about dealing with this job, what would it be? He goes, learn how to work the job before the job works you to death. Right. And when you're first getting hired, when you're sitting there that first day doing the paperwork, they actually tell you that they've done a study, and the statistics show that the average life expectancy of a New York City bus operator after retirement is 2 fucking years.
Jesus Christ.
And so I'm like, wait a minute.
From heart attack and suicide and all kinds of
crazy
shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. If the average is 2 after retirement, that means that I'm not good at math, but that means there's got to be a lot of bus drivers dying before they even get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn. And, thank God I had a manipulative old man to learn from on how to make shit work for you and do it right in front of the boss and go, but boss, you told me.
Right.
And so the number one thing with transit is safety. Like, safety first. Okay, right. I didn't feel safe. That's all you got to say, and you can do just about anything you want. So, craziest moments.
Feel safe.
Yeah. There were one or two of those. Some guy got on the bus and got all bent out of shape, and about 90% of the time it was when I told them what the fare was.
Right.
And so they'd get upset, and
because you set the fares.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
naturally, you should be upset at the guy that's driving the bus for the fare being so high. Obviously.
Absolutely.
It's a normal.
It was
logical conclusion to come to, right?
It was great when they turned around and they go, I pay your salary, and I go, no, you don't.
I pay my salary.
I said,
taxes.
Yeah. I said, wait a minute. Have you ever gotten on a bus and the fare box isn't working? They go, yeah. I said, you think I didn't get paid that day?
Right.
I said, come on. Whether you pay your fare or not, I get paid. It doesn't matter. So you have no say so. You have no control. Nothing.
Right. Same shit people say to cops, and it's like, yeah, okay, everybody does. What's your fucking point?
Exactly. But this one guy got yoked up when he got in my face before I realized, how to work the rules totally, or maybe it was after I knew it and I just was having a bad day and said fuck it.
Right.
But I remember yoking him up and like one of those videos that you see on YouTube, I threw him off the bus, threw him through the front. Yes.
Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air throwing.
Yes, absolutely. And then went down the steps and landed on him and started pounding on him. And of course, everybody was all upset because I threw this guy a beating for spitting on me.
Right. Well, but that's assault. Sorry. Not how you cut it. That's fucking assault.
And
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was a
but
fun job.
But you know what? And this is an unpopular opinion, especially on YouTube and the socials nowadays. But sometimes some people in this world are worse off because they never got their ass kicked.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. How do you learn a lesson?
How do you learn a lesson
if you don't have something?
I've gotten my ass kicked.
Yeah.
I've gotten my ass kicked a handful of times. More than a couple of handfuls of times.
Yeah, I got my ass kicked several times, and
I'm a better fucking person for it. I can tell you that right now, beyond the shadow of a doubt. And you know what? I've had to hand out some ass kickings before.
Well, see, that's what I learned.
I still know some of the people whose ass I kicked, and they're a better person for it. I can say that right now.
Right.
And if they were watching right now, which they're not, but if they were, I had to double check. If they were watching right now, they'd agree with me.
Yeah, no.
I've been thanked for literally punching the shit out of someone. I got thanked for it 2 years later.
No, I don't think I ever got thanked for it. I was told that they deserved it. They didn't thank me for it. Yeah, I was acting like an idiot. Oh man, I'm so sorry I acted like that, and I deserved the way that you just made me look like a raccoon and busted my nose and all that stuff. But no, after getting my head handed to me a few times, the lesson I learned was don't wait for them to hit you first, and
True.
And don't stand up like a boxer and expect to have a fair fight. No.
No such thing as a fair fight.
There's no such thing as a fair fight unless you're fighting with your brother or your best friend or something.
You're fighting with somebody
that you know.
Where afterwards you're picking them up and you're going to drink a beer.
No,
Then
if I don't,
which has happened plenty of times actually. I mean.
But if I don't know you and you're angry with me to the point where you're going to be hitting me, all bets are off.
Yeah,
all bets are off.
I'm grabbing you by your fucking nuts and crushing
anything. I'll use the curb with your head, your head on the curb, whatever. And I've done that several times in the bar.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
in that video game you play. Yeah, you've done that plenty of times. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5, right? Yeah.
Oh,
GTA 5. Yeah, we've all done that. Yeah, totally.
A shout out, not to keep following suit, but a shout out to Steve, who's no longer with us. Who taught me a lot about the bar business.
Cheers to Steve.
Steve. Yeah, he's the one that told me about duck when the fight starts.
Yeah, because once they throw the bottles, they don't have a bottle to throw anymore. Right. So as long as you duck at the beginning, you got a much higher chance.
That was just a fun bar to work.
That was how one of Uncle Dilly's friends died. Remember at that bar off of Ramsey Street?
No.
Got hit in the back of the head with a beer bottle.
Really?
Went to the hospital. He lost consciousness. He had a concussion. Lost consciousness. Went to the hospital. Never woke up and died.
Damn.
He was in a coma and then he died while he was in a coma from getting hit in the back of the head with a beer bottle. I mean, that's fucking insane. So that shit's no joke.
I got hit in the back of the head with a full bottle of Budweiser.
Jesus Christ.
A tall neck. And it was because, it was by this really cute girl. I mean, this girl was one of the hottest chicks in the bar. She was upset with me. The reason I was beating up the guy that was trying to get in her pants was because the night before, when we were all at the bar, the bouncer who was working that night that I was off had dared me to bite Tina's ass because Tina was just smoking hot. And I said, well, what do I get if I do it? I mean, you know me. I'll do just about anything. And he goes, I'll buy you and your brother around. And I looked at my brother and I said, I know exactly what we're going to be drinking. And he goes, so do I. And so I just crouched down and I bit Tina's ass.
Right.
And a little while later, after me and Chris got
hold on. What did Tina do?
Oh, well, Tina stood there.
Right.
Tina just stood there. I bent down and grabbed her hips and just went, and I mean, I took a bite out of her ass, and she stood there.
Yeah.
Because she was kind of like the bar slut, but she did not look like. She was model material.
Right.
This girl was hot.
But she was totally.
She was just
cool with it.
Yeah, because she thought I was somebody she knew. And when I stood up and she turned around, she was, oh, it's you. You're a fucking asshole, and walked away. And me and my brother were laughing. The bouncer can't believe that he's got to buy me around. We're all laughing. Me and Chris, the round was 2 bottles of Bud and 2 depth charges, which is basically a mug of beer with, I think it's a shot glass of amaretto.
Okay.
Amaretto with 151, and you light the 151 and you drop it in your mug. And if you do not drink that like that, it just foams, turns into all kinds of foam. So we had that. And a couple, 15, 20 minutes later, she's down at the other end of the bar, and the guy who really wants in Tina's pants keeps giving us the dirty look and giving us the dirty look. So,
I mean, you did bite her ass.
Yeah, but, he's looking at us, and my brother Chris was like, I'm not going to take this much longer from this guy. And I'm like, dude, I work here. You can't go down there and just start a fight. He goes, I'm going to go down there and knock this fucking guy out. I was like, dude, you can't do that. I work here. He has to hit you first.
That's that post-depth charge courage.
Yeah. No, we had, and especially him. He had that courage when he was 5.
Yeah, yeah.
He looked at my old man, kept on telling him all his, like, get that look off your face. I don't like the way you look at me. And Chris would look at him like this. With one of the meanest snouts. What look?
Yeah.
What look? But Chris was like, don't worry. He'll start the fight. And so Chris walks down the bar, and he just squeezes right in between the guy and the girl, Tina. I don't know who the guy's name was.
Right.
What the guy's name was. But he squeezes right in with his back to the girl, and he goes, hey, your name's Tina, right? Like he's like she doesn't know who he is. And she's like, you know my name is Tina. He goes, my brother says you got the sweetest tasting ass in the bar.
Christ.
And so she gets all mad. The guy turns around and says, you can't say that, and swings at Chris, and all bets are off.
Right.
Chris grabs the guy. I think Chris got maybe 1 or 2 punches on the guy, and I was on this guy. And I was like, you hit my brother?
Right.
It was just all bets were off. Every time I hit him, his head hit the bar. Had him bent over the bar. While I'm pounding this guy, bam! Across the back of my head goes a full bottle of Budweiser.
And it's
Tina.
Yeah.
I wipe my head. I turn around. I let him go, and he does the proverbial slide down the bar thing.
Yeah.
I wipe my head, and I look at her, and she's standing there with the piece of bottle, with the neck in her hand.
Barman shanker.
She's got the neck in her hand, and then I don't know, about a split second later, she was about 6 feet across the room with a broken jaw. I blasted her so hard,
Jesus Christ,
that every guy in the bar wanted to fight me and Chris.
I would imagine.
And me and Chris are standing there like, all right, guys, because they're holding us all back and this.
And I'm sure
that.
half of them didn't see
anything else that had happened.
Right.
So they're all sitting there, all the guys. All
they know is some
fight.
big dude hit a girl and
knocked the girl. I mean, I lifted her. She had to lift off her feet. I just blasted her. So we're all standing there towards the door, and they're like, no, we're all gonna fuck you guys up. I go, well, that's really not fair. If you guys are real men, just come out. We're gonna go outside, me and Chris, and you guys come out 2 at a time.
2 by 2, yeah.
2 by 2. One, and you guys pick whoever you want. You pick one of you. Pick him,
like a dodgeball team.
One of
they're
you guys
standing.
pick me.
You and Chris are outside, and they're standing inside. All right, I'm a captain. Give me the big guy.
Yeah. And we walked outside. And stood there facing the bar. And the bouncer's like, Vic, you can't do this. I was like, I don't care. I figured the job was gone, not a problem.
Were you bleeding at this time from the back of the head? Didn't even cut
Nothing.
you? Holy shit.
Nothing. This is a Ramsey coconut, man. So
I could hear it from over there.
Yeah, we're standing out there, and not one of those girly men.
Soy boys.
Yeah, not one of those girly men came outside.
Yeah.
Not one of them.
Yeah, the bartender's probably begging them not to.
Yeah. They're all yelling shit, but not one of them came out. And then the owner comes out, and he goes, Vic, what the hell is going on? And I started to tell. He goes, all right, we can't do this here. We can't do this here. Come on. And I ended up walking with him back through the bar.
Right.
And nobody said a word. Nobody did anything. Right. And I walked with the boss because most of them knew I worked there.
Yeah.
We go downstairs, and he goes, what the hell's going on? I said, well, my brother went over to talk to Tina, and he goes, oh, God, she is just like a pain in the ass in this bar. Hot as shit. But she causes so much trouble in this bar. I said, yeah, he went over to talk to her, and he said something about her having a nice ass and everything, and then the boy, the guy who wanted to get Tina tonight, because obviously there's a different guy every night, or 2 or 3 guys, I don't know. He goes, all right, but you were beating this shit out. You knocked her out. He goes, I think you broke her jaw. And I was like, she broke a bottle across the back of my head. You step up to me like a man, you're going to get treated like a man.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, I agree with that completely. He goes, all right, hold on. And he pulls a bottle like that out of the drawer, gets a couple of glasses, he pours a drink for me, a drink for him. We're sitting there, we're talking. I'm like, So I'm figuring, since you're buying me a drink and stuff, I'm not fired. He goes, "Oh, you're not fired." I was like, "Okay, not a problem. I gotta go because my brother's upstairs by himself." Dude. Right back upstairs, and Chris was still standing outside, waiting for somebody to come out. Nobody came out. He was there by himself, and nobody.
And they
came
knew
out.
he was out there by himself.
Yep, and nobody came out. And me and Chris,
because that's one of those moments where it's like, do I risk going out there to fight him and try to get out of here before he gets back upstairs?
No, that would
but
not have been good.
You do realize though, that entire story,
Yes,
mind you, hitting a woman who just smashed a beer bottle over the back of your head, completely warranted in my opinion.
And
but
whoever doesn't think
the
so, whatever.
The entire thing was your fault.
Well, of course. Did I ever say anything about it not being my fault? I mean,
because you bit her ass.
Yes,
you incited the entire
thing. But now wait a minute.
thing.
No, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's not my fault.
How?
That's not my fault.
Oh, the person that bet
was
you?
a bet.
No. Well, there was a bet. There was a bet.
Culpability in that.
Now I did, because all I said was, "Oh my God, look at Tina. God damn, I'd like to bite that ass." Now, I
Still
think
your fault?
I think if you, no, it's not my fault. Because
we're going to progress through this through you trying to shrug responsibility for this, and I'm just going to give us a status update each time you're done trying to prove
She
the
had
point.
painted on jeans.
Still your fault.
And the most fabulous pear-shaped butt.
All right, still your fault.
And I was drunk. And
Still your fault.
and there was a bet.
Still your fault.
And I don't care if it's my fault. I liked biting her ass. I liked beating up her boyfriend. I liked watching Chris go, especially when Chris was like, "Trust me, he'll start the fight."
Right,
and it was like, "Oh, here we go," because I knew he wasn't going to mess up my job purposely. And then, you know, when I saw her, I don't know, like 2 weeks later, finally she came into the bar and she just looked at me and walked that way.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, no shit. She's probably fucking traumatized for the rest of her fucking life because you broke her jaw.
She was not traumatized. She was, that night while I was working, she was talking to that one getting drinks, talking to that one getting drinks. Went out of the bar for about 20 minutes, a half hour with that one, and then came back in again, and he was like, "This now," you know. She was,
Gotcha.
She was pretty bad.
Now,
But,
let me ask you a question, though.
Sure.
And this is a 100% surefire. This is the number. This is the number one way to know for a fact whether or not you believed that it was your fault or not. You ready?
Okay.
Did you ever bite a girl's ass in a bar on a bet ever again after that? This should be a yes or no. Come on.
I was never offered enough to do it again. No. Nobody ever offered me a bet or, you know.
Okay.
You know.
I feel like after that experience, the price of entry is much higher than a free drink.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, yeah, like, you know, 2 rounds.
At least 2 depth charges. Exactly.
2 rounds.
Yeah,
it's double.
I mean, the round was 2 beers and 2 depth charges. I mean, that had to be like $20 at that time.
How lucky you are that you didn't get the back of your head sliced open. That's
yes.
fucking fate
Yes.
in of itself.
Yes, that I'm not a vegetable today. Yeah, of course. But, you know,
there's been plenty of situations where
where
I'm lucky.
I should have been a
I'm
vegetable.
I'm still walking, and
Yes.
I'm lucky I'm still alive. Yeah.
Yeah, the bar business up there was a lot of fun. It really was. And
Well, yeah. So Mike, to your point. So Mike says, I think there's an argument there about it being on the one who threw the first punch, for sure, absolutely. However, what incited that was
why do you got to nitpick? Why do you have to
Junior,
nitpick?
Because I can't. It's like everyone in
All
a
right.
room. It's like everyone in a room wearing the same thing, and then one person's wearing something different. You can't not say, "Hey, look, that guy's wearing something different." You
right.
bit her on the ass. That's what incited the entire thing.
Well,
When you stood up, which she was okay with it when she thought it was somebody she knew.
You see, there you go.
But because it was you,
that's where my shit. That's where my shit hangs right there. It's like she had no problem with somebody biting her ass.
Until she found
until she realized it was just the the ugly
the bouncer,
whatever, the
right.
bouncer, the uncool guy or whatever.
Yeah.
I had probably a very short haircut. I probably had a buzz cut and
You didn't fit the look.
I just yes, the whole thing started because I wanted to bite her ass, but.
See?
But if the other bouncer had not said, "I dare you," and I went, "You don't want to dare me," and he goes, "Yeah, I tell you what, I'll get you and your brother." He goes, "I'll get you your next drink," and I was like, "Well, that wouldn't be fair.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be fair to my brother.
Yeah.
Me and my brother are out together, hanging out, drinking. It's got to be at least one round for the two of us."
Of course.
He goes, "Well, what? Wait a minute, Vic," and he knew right away. He goes, "What are you guys drinking?" I was like, "Oh, just depth charges and beers," and he's like, "Oh God, that's at least $20." He goes, "All right, I bet you $20." And so, again, I think it was the other bouncer's fault.
Yeah.
Because I had already had several depth charges and several beers. And probably other stuff. No, guaranteed other stuff.
This is why I brought you on. The stories are endless. Stories are endless. Brandon's over here like, shit, I don't even need to say anything else. Tell another story.
So really, just to get to some perspective on how much $20 was at the time, like, how long ago was this?
This had to be
90s?
No, it was probably 86, 87.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so
Something
that's
like
like a $50 or $60 bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
today's
sure.
That's a $100 bet.
Oh, yeah.
No.
In New York, drink prices.
All right, maybe for normal people.
Everything's
but-
gone crazy in New York.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. If we're going to correlate inflation, right? If we're going to take inflation into making this mathematical equation, you also have to do locality.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
So
specifically,
that's a $100 bet.
and that depends on what neighborhood it is. Or
It was
true.
what borough it is.
Right.
That's
It
true.
was
If it's
it was
Williamsburg,
Queens.
That's like a $200.
It was Queens.
Is it a
And-
speakeasy now? We
No.
need to go look up the address.
Right. Like, is it a place that has like $12 PBR?
Right.
No, definitely not. Empty,
gotta go look up the
empty
address.
pockets.
It's Queens. It's the land of Spider-Man.
I got to figure. I mean, now I haven't ordered a drink in New York in a long time, but I mean, a bottle of Budweiser can't be more than $5 or $6, maybe $7.
That's absolutely insane.
So
I think you would be surprised.
the way to figure it out is, would you do it for $50 or would it take $100?
I don't think he'd do it at all now.
Oh,
50?
100? Knowing that you'd get hit in the back of the head with a beer bottle, you'd do it again?
Tina had a sweet.
Wow.
Ass. Tina had a sweet ass, man. and what would be better than this story? To have a sequel.
A sequel, yeah.
Tina
Hold
Part
on,
Two.
hold on. I only know one Tina.
Now,
So-
granted, the sequel might be.
And she's a bartender.
There
so
you go. Now,
I'll call her up and see if we can set something up.
the sequel. No, she's got to be as young and as sweet as fucking Tina was.
You'll love her. Don't worry.
The sequel would probably come across like, so I was standing in the bar.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
pour a couple of drinks into me.
Yeah,
and,
it'll be
and
no, it'll be the podcast season 3, right? Episode 1. We'll have you on, and we'll be like, so Junior, how did you lose functionality in half your body?
yeah, Tina's ass.
I don't.
It was my fault.
Tina's ass, and it still wasn't my fault.
So Donna says it's still your fault.
Who?
Donna,
Your mom or
My mom.
my sister?
my mom.
Okay. Well, I guess if your mom says it's my fault, it's my fault.
It's your fault. You can't argue with that.
Okay, I'm not going to argue, and I take full ownership. And if I had the chance, I'd do it all over again. I really would.
I'm glad we're not a popular podcast because God, we'd get canceled for that one. You had a guest on that assaulted a woman. That's literally exactly what would happen.
It was the 80s. That's what people did.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a different time, guys.
And
totally.
You do coke and assault women.
I said there were other things involved besides alcohol, but I wasn't specific. But yes, there was coke involved.
I mean, it's the 80s.
But here's the thing. Yeah, it's the 80s.
It was the 80s, and there was a lot of that.
80s in the city. Here's the thing, though. You didn't say that before, so now that changes things. So you have to understand the laws.
I didn't say
you have
what
to
before.
understand the laws of culpability.
I didn't say what before.
That there was other stuff involved.
Yes, I did.
I didn't hear that part.
I said we had been drinking, and there was other
and
stuff.
yeah, I didn't catch that.
He skimmed it.
So here's the thing. Yeah, I didn't catch that. So maybe that was my fault.
Yeah, it was because
So
I said
the laws of culpability.
Okay.
If you're drunk, still your fault.
Okay.
If you're high, still your fault.
Okay.
Right? If you're on pills, still your fault. If you're
Okay.
drunk, high, and on pills, it's not your fault. Any
All
combination
right,
of
all right, wait. I was drunk. I was high on weed.
That's a joke, by the way.
I was high on weed, and there was definitely snowflakes involved.
Yeah, it was during the wintertime. Yeah.
And again, Tina's ass. I mean, I'm telling you, if you brought Tina from that day,
so
here,
we're not allowed to glorify. We're not allowed to glorify use of substances. So you need to express remorse.
I'm so sorry. I did an 8-ball. But in my defense, I was gonna do 2, and I only did 1.
I mean, to my understanding, that was a normal New York City weekend in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
It's
That was
different
Wednesday night.
That's when the
It
weekend
was a
starts.
Wednesday night.
That's weekend, right?
No, it was 1986, and me and my brother were living together up in New York with absolutely zero supervision. It was the weekend all week long. All week long.
Holy fucking shit.
So do you want to hear about?
I don't know.
Do you want to hear about Scott?
Maybe we need to take a break and discuss what stories we're gonna tell.
All right, I won't tell the story. I'll just say that some guy.
You know a guy.
I know a guy that caught a beating by yours truly. And
Is this the Stairs with Troy story?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
no, we won't tell that story.
and
we won't
what
tell that story because the ending leaves too much.
the statute
Hold on.
of limitations
no,
is done.
No, because I'm going to tell you why. Just in case, because you don't know, just in case there's some New York State cold case detective watching this podcast. I don't want him to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What bar was that?
So, like I said, I won't say anything else about it, but there was this guy, Scott, and he caught a beating after about, I don't know, almost a year of taunting me, and he just finally caught it, and I got probably the best compliment of my life that night.
Oh, God.
I was with Troy. Go figure.
Yeah, no way.
And we left the scene post haste. And we're headed to a specific place.
You didn't feel safe.
Yeah. We were headed to a space where... we were headed to a spot where I knew I'd have an alibi.
This is before he was a bus driver, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
I mean, safety is key in all things.
No, it was not.
Really?
No, Scott was after I was driving.
Holy shit.
So, but my friend Troy's coworker, who had stayed in the bar, and me and Troy were leaving, he called Troy and asked Troy, "Did you have anything to do with, did you see what happened to that guy? What?" He goes, "Oh yeah, that was Vic. He had a problem with this guy for like months and months now, and he finally caught it."
By the way, I know this story, and even though we're not going to go into excruciating detail on it, he deserved it.
Yes,
he had it coming,
yeah,
justified.
So I got, like I said, I got the compliment of my life. Troy's coworker told Troy, he goes, "Well, tell Junior he should be a professional because this guy looks like he got hit by a train, but somehow doesn't need to go to the hospital." and told us in plain English, "No, I don't need to go to the hospital," but he looked like he got hit by a train.
So the thing is, from the moment he was knocked off his feet, he was immediately applying ice to his wounds.
Yeah,
because it was in the snow.
Well, No, it was diamond plate steps that he went down. And
well, he eventually
they were very
made
cold.
his way to the snow.
The ground was cold. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Sorry, Donna.
Just even though we're not going to tell the story, I've told the story before because I've heard the whole story. Obviously,
yes.
I told the story to my wife.
Okay.
And she went, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, your Uncle Junior." I was like, "Yeah, he did that." And I was like, "Yeah." What?
Well, she knows the Uncle Junior of now.
Yeah.
She knows Uncle Junior. She doesn't know Vic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially Vic of, I don't know, what is it? Good Lord.
It's 2022 right now.
It's 2022, so
She doesn't know 8-Ball Vic.
There you go. That's my new
8-Ball
line.
Vic.
That's my new line. I'm telling you. No, she doesn't know the almost quarter of a century ago Vic. That's all.
right.
Yeah. So no, I've had some fun on my jobs. You know, I guess. And like I said, the number one reason why I would assault Tina again is because
Don't say that.
I would.
You wouldn't.
Okay, I wouldn't.
That was 8-Ball Vic. All right.
The stories,
It's Uncle
man.
Junior now.
Somewhere along the line, Troy had told me, "Do you realize that if and when me and you end up in a nursing home, all the women are going to be sitting around."
I swear to God, I hope you don't end up having a nurse named Tina. Fucking get kicked out of there so fast.
It wouldn't matter what her name is at that point.
Tom, come pick up your uncle.
No, Troy had said, he goes, "Do you realize that if me and you, when and if we end up in a nursing home, all the women are going to be sitting around our chairs, and all the other guys in the place are going to be sitting on the outside looking at all the girls, all the women sitting around us, because we are going to have the absolute best stories ever."
God, yes.
Ever. And there you go. I would like to make sure that my catalog of stories keeps growing. So I would not do that to Tina again.
Donna says that Scott had it coming, and it's perfectly fine. He made too many jokes about your bald head.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
why
go
he
with
got
that.
it.
We'll go with that. Seems justifiable.
But I mean,
You don't make fun of someone for hair loss, right?
No.
right.
We learned that over the Oscars.
But he's also going to be the most popular guy in the nursing home.
That's true.
So
Why
It's
is
worth
that?
it.
yeah.
It's worth it.
Oh, for the stories?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
And evidently, in the nursing homes, it's wild.
Yeah. And
you're old. You can do what you want. Blame it on your age.
And 100%, the one thing that nursing home staff hate doing is giving haircuts. You won't have any, so they're going to love you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have some like little poofs coming out of the sides and stuff like that. But no. I just need more stories. Anyone want? When are we done here? And when are we going to the bar?
He's going to end up putting on a black polo
So I
and
feel
standing
like-
at the front door of the nursing home
So I feel like if you had
saying, "Hey, move your fucking hover around. Get the fuck out of here."
There you go. You got a permit for that?
That's right.
So I really thought you were going into a Keeps.com segue there.
No.
No sponsors yet.
Actually, this episode is sponsored, and all of Junior's stories are fully endorsed by Ballistic Liberty. I joke, I kid. I must actually admit that this episode is not sponsored. Well, it is actually kind of sponsored by alcohol consumption. I won't say the brand of the alcohol because I don't want people to actually think that we're sponsored by this brand of alcohol.
No, I'm sponsored by any kind of alcohol.
But for the
right.
YouTube detectives out there, this is very good.
Yes, it is. Blade and Bow. It is a bourbon,
very smooth,
and it's very, very good.
And if they want to send some free product,
yeah, for sure. If you know anyone at Blade and Bow, and you want to give them a call and let them know that a podcast is drinking their stuff live on the podcast in front of at least 6, maybe 7 viewers, tell them to send. They'll get all kinds of half a dozen of people exposure.
I mean, I'm gonna go.
They'll sell at least 6 bottles.
I'm gonna go buy 2 bottles.
Now, if I told you, Brandon, let's say you're working for a company, right? And I told you, you send me a free bottle, I'll guarantee you sell 6.
That sounds like a good return on investment.
Exactly.
It's advertising.
Mind you, that number is not multiplied in any way. It's literally going to just be 6 bottles, right? But it's still a good investment for the 5 seconds it takes to say, hey, ship a bottle to this address, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So to be fair,
and I've got more stories.
So, blade and bow.
That's the kind of thing that I would do if I owned a distillery, just for the hell of it.
Absolutely. If I owned a distillery, I would find the most obscure podcast, as long as I saw that they were drinking bourbon or whiskey, whatever the hell it is that I'm distilling, and I'd be like, I'm going to send this to them and say,
you guys want a bottle?
And say, hey, your podcast is sponsored by me this episode. I'll send you a couple bottles. Fuck yeah.
But then you got to be sure that they know you got to know that they're not going to be saying things like all the details of my stories.
Even so, you can easily just go, hey, we didn't know these guys. We just sent them some free booze and said, hey, we'll sponsor your episode. We didn't know that they were going to say that. We're very sorry, and we don't condone anything these people said. But guess what? Still press.
It is. Bad press,
still press.
good press.
All publicity
still press.
is good publicity.
That's
Yeah,
right.
You're
goddamn right.
There you go.
To be fair,
what are you working? Never mind.
To be fair, as far as bourbon goes, this is probably one of the best I've ever had.
100%. 100%. I got this, and then I got another one. I'd have to find the bottle.
That is a terrible name for bourbon.
Really?
I have the bottle somewhere. We got it from the ABC store, obviously. That's the only place you can get liquor. But got it from the ABC store here down the road, and it's a Carolina. It was actually made in North Carolina. And it was delicious as well. It's not as smooth as this, but it has an amazing taste.
So I don't remember what it's called, so this story is going to be kind of a moot point. But we just bought a North Carolina vodka at home.
Really?
Yeah, because...
Blue Shark?
No.
Because that one's made, I think, in Wilmington.
I don't remember what it's called. But the point is, we can't buy the vodka that we would normally buy.
Right.
Because...
Tito's?
No. What we normally get is Russian Standard.
Get the fuck out of my podcast right now.
But
you piece of shit.
In light of current politics.
No, you don't get to talk anymore, you fucking Russian sympathizing piece of shit. I can't believe you drink Russian alcohol. You didn't immediately throw it away and put it on a TikTok to show your support? You piece of shit.
So the last time
nobody fucking hates what the Russian military is doing right now more than Russians. And people don't understand that. And the Russian fucking military doesn't make vodka. It blows my mind. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I know you were trying to say something, but it blows my mind that all these bars made it a point to publicize, we're throwing out all our Russian alcohol and all this vodka that's Russian made and this, that, and that. And half of them were throwing out shit that was made in Austin, Texas.
Exactly.
I just want to throw that out.
They were people
were they throwing away
stuff from other
Tito's?
countries.
They were throwing away Tito's saying, we don't support Russian. I'm like,
no, wait, Stolies, I think
What
they
the
said
fuck?
also.
Yeah.
Stolies, and it's
most
not made
vodka
there.
isn't even made in Russia.
exactly. Most vodkas that are available in the United States, guess where they're made? The United States.
Yep.
Oh, Absolute is Sweden.
It blows my fucking mind. These idiots that just jump to the change my Facebook banner and fucking, I support Ukraine. And it's like, that's cool that you fucking feel that way, right? But
do some homework.
fucking educate yourself.
Do
on
a little
shit.
bit of homework.
To be
fuck's
fair,
sake.
we have not had a bottle of Russian Standard for at least 3 or 4 years.
It doesn't matter. You could drink all the Russian Standard you want. It doesn't mean that you fucking agree with what Putin's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's so fucking stupid to correlate those two things and to be like, I support Ukraine by fucking over the literal people of Russia
Now-
who are literally all fucking coming together and fucking protesting against what the Russian government's doing. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Now,
dude,
if there was a-
Being killed
brain.
for it as well.
Being
vodka.
fucking killed out in the fucking street for protesting the fucking war. Come on, dude.
Now, if there was Ukrainian vodka that was available in our ABC stores,
I'd buy the shit out of it.
oh yeah,
I went and found Amazon had a store that was selling Ukraine shirts, right? and literally, and they were $25 for a T-shirt, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, because I was like, I'm going to buy some Ukrainian shirts just to
That's
like show
normal
some
T-shirt
kind of support
price.
or whatever. No, it's $25 for just a plain black T-shirt with the Ukrainian flag and everything. And I'm like, wow, why is it so much? And then I saw 100% of the proceeds were going to Ukrainian relief fund.
I mean,
and I'm like,
I've definitely purchased higher priced T-shirts.
So, well, yeah, of course, but so I was like, oh shit, yeah, okay. So I bought 2 of them. I was like, $50 is going straight to the, no problem. And then I found out what relief fund it was going to. Started doing a little bit of research on it. I'll have to pull up the name of it, but started doing a little bit of research and looking into like what exactly they were paying for and this, that, and the other. And they're actually like housing. They're running a huge camp in Poland to help fund housing refugees who are leaving Ukraine, who are seeking shelter and refuge from what's going on there, and food and supplies and everything that's literally going directly to them. And it's all volunteers. None of them are getting paid. So literally 100% of that money is going directly to product that's going into the Ukrainians' hands. And I'm like, fuck yes. And I was literally like, here's another $400.
That's awesome. Can you send me a link to that?
I can. I'll find it. I'll have to dig through some shit. I'm not going to do it right now while we're on the podcast. It'll take a minute. But I'll dig through this shit. I'll send it to you. But you can literally buy the shirts 25. I was thinking about just like, instead of just sending them $400, I was like, shit, I'll fucking buy a bunch of T-shirts and then give those fucking T-shirts out and tell people about it, But believe it or not, the best fucking way that you can help Ukrainians right now, because the people who really, really need the fucking money are the people who are still in Ukraine, or the Ukrainians who are still fucking there fighting and trying to fucking defend their land and their property and shit. And that are having to rebuild their fucking homes and shit, right? Airbnb. Yes. Airbnb is allowing Ukrainian citizens to list their property, even if it's crumbled to the ground. List their property. They still have to go through the same process to confirm that they're who they are and this, that, and the other. So you don't
ownership,
scamming and shit like that, right? So they have to go through the same verification process. But they're allowing to list their shit so that people can book and then never show up.
Okay.
And they're doing that intentionally, knowing that people aren't going to show up, but they're allowing Ukrainian citizens to do that so that they can literally get money immediately, just like that, and they're waiving all of their fees. They're not getting a single penny from it. Nothing.
Nice.
Airbnb
Very
said
nice.
Anyone who's doing that to try to help, rebuild and this, that, and the other,
right,
post up your property on Airbnb as a rental for however much, and people can book it and then cancel and choose to not try to reclaim their funds.
Right.
Because you can do that. You can say, I had to cancel, so it's my fault. Here, take all the money,
right?
Or you can get a certain amount back or whatever,
right?
This, that, and the other. But they're literally doing that, and Airbnb has been like the #1 fucking company to help those folks in Ukraine that are still there, and trying to rebuild and trying to help everybody and their efforts. It's fucking awesome. There's obviously going to be people who will try to take advantage of that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, if you go on Reddit, there's tons of people who have like literally been in contact through Airbnb with Ukrainian citizens who have been doing this and getting. I mean, some of these Ukrainians, they're getting enough money to literally rebuild their house.
Cool.
It's fucking awesome. And again,
Airbnb is to book a vacation in Ukraine,
waiving their fucking fees. I thought that was fucking awesome. So that's a really good way that you right now can go and help directly to them, not have to worry about researching a company who's doing relief efforts, not have to worry about how much of this is actually going to help, not having to worry about what's this money going to. It's literally going directly into the bank account of the person that lives in Ukraine that's affected by what's going on. So that's an awesome way that you guys can help and go check it out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this quiet guy over here ever say anything?
He's producing right now, actually.
I can talk.
Yeah,
he can talk. I didn't ask what he was doing. I asked, does he ever say anything? I mean,
when he's actually
does he get in on it or something?
When he's actually on the podcast, he talks all the time, actually.
Okay, I was just curious,
To be fair, he's just been sitting there just staring.
Well, no,
if he's staring at me, I'm used to that. But
So
I have a few buttons.
So not to give away the magic behind the production of our amazing program here, he actually has a Stream Deck back there where he changes the camera angles by a press of a button. See that? So he literally, depending on who's talking and how long they're talking, and there's a whole
so the more I talk, the more I'm on camera?
Yes, that's literally how that works.
Wait, I got stories.
Trust me, you've been on camera the majority of this podcast already.
So yeah, but I have no ego. I'm actually.
You are a super humble person. It's your
humble, and
I know
I have inferiority complex.
I know
and all that stuff.
You consider your humility your best trait, right?
No, my loyalty. Wait.
It's my greatest quality is how humble I am.
Let me answer
He's
that
more
again.
humble than anyone else.
I'm the most humble, okay? I know it, you know it, everybody does it, okay?
My best trait is I'm not supposed to go there.
So I'm going to pour a glass of...
I can't go back to 1986, can I?
Blade and bow. Okay, I said blade and bow, not blade and blow. Not babes and blow.
Oh, man, you're messing up all the fun.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Where the fuck did we go from here? So how was your transition from the military into civilian life? What was that like? You see?
Uh-huh.
You see?
It was a long story full of sighs.
Pre-planned talking points. That's how this podcast continues when it starts to get derailed.
I have another question.
Okay.
Can somebody log on to this thing and watch it after we're done?
Absolutely, as many times as you want. You can go home. You can literally, in all of your humility, go home and watch yourself on the podcast. Yes.
Nice. No, I was going to try
and send it to all your friends.
There you go. Look, it's me.
And send it to Troy.
Yeah, there you go. No, I want to see if Troy can get into it, and then obviously my brother Chris, because as soon as he hears. So, we were at Empty Pockets, and Tina was there, and he's going to be like, oh, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. And it was his fault.
He's telling everyone stories.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I was there with them. I've been there. Otherwise, I got some stories that I could tell that I wasn't there, but.
You have other stories involving women named Tina.
Yeah, I probably do.
Are these different Tinas?
They're different Tinas.
Yes, they're different Tinas.
Anyway, we're not going to get into that one. No,
not at all.
I don't think so.
That's not for here. That's for in person.
Here, toss me that pack of smokes.
That's for in person where nobody hears the rest of it.
That's right. It's too explicit for the YouTubes.
Yep.
But anyway, your transition from military life to civilian life, how was that?
It was years, a couple of years.
All right.
Of trying not to wind up back in IT, and I did kind of anyway.
What did you do when you got out? Where did you go? What did you do?
So when I signed out of the Army, I drove a moving truck from here all the way to Texas.
Okay.
I stayed with my mom for,
I didn't know you went to Texas.
2 months or so. That's where I'm from.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I stayed with my mom for a couple of months. Probably gained 30 pounds.
All right.
In that couple of months because she was happy to have me around.
Of course.
So I was getting home cooking 3
Mom
meals
cooks.
a day. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and it was, Texas cooking with lots of butter and,
Of course, fried stuff.
Not the healthiest.
God, I love it.
But now, probably 2 months after I got out, I was like, I probably know more people in Georgia than I do in Texas.
Right.
That whole thing, you can never go home again.
Yeah, of course.
Et cetera. It just didn't feel.
It's like
the
playing
same.
an MMORPG that you grew up on. You
Right.
go back to it and you're like, the fuck is this?
You can't go back to Ultima Online.
That's right. You can't go back to Ashron's Call, even though I try every time.
So I moved to Georgia. Oddly enough, Columbus, Georgia, which is adjacent to Fort Benning.
Right.
So everyone that I knew there were like, "Oh, you were in the Army. You were stationed at Benning, right?"
No.
No.
Never. Actually, didn't even go there for basic. No.
Correct. I have never been to Fort Benning. Well, I have been to Fort Benning now.
Well, you went to Benning. Didn't you go to airborne school?
Yes.
Okay.
So I went to Fort Benning for that.
There you go. All right.
I have been to Fort Benning to visit. When I lived there, I visited the Infantry Museum.
Nice.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And after I got out of active duty, I was out for a little while, and it was kind of when everything in Syria was heating up.
Okay.
So I decided to go into the reserves.
Terrible idea.
To complete my IRR time.
Yes.
Because you're guaranteed stabilization.
Yes.
And I knew several people that were still in their IRR time that were recalled after they ETS'd.
Yep.
To go to Syria.
Yes.
I was like, okay, let me just...
You mean to go to Iraq? Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the time, Syria was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. They were going to Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew several people. And I was like, okay, so I don't want to do this. So if I go into the reserves for the 10 months I have left on IRR time,
Right.
I won't have to go anywhere. And to be fair, as far as my military career, that 10 months in the reserves was by far the worst.
Oh, yeah.
The worst.
I guarantee it.
Because I was part of a reception company that did not have a mission. So
That's awesome.
So that one weekend a month, I did the same sharp training,
Right.
EEO training,
Yep.
all of that.
Found shit for you to do.
Yes, and literally
That is the
every
worst
month
thing ever.
they had a UA.
Of course. That's how it is in the reserves and
And
National Guard.
every month.
Well, some places.
And every month, my name was on the list.
Of course. It's 100%
Yeah.
most of the time.
It was
So-
the worst.
Imagine, if you would, a reserve unit that you could spend your IRR time in just to get another good year towards retirement if you
Right.
were planning on like going GS or something like that and buying your time back, which is what I was planning at the time. Imagine, if you would, a reserve unit that's special operations and airborne coded on Fort Bragg. You'd be like, shit, yeah, man. Like, use a KPOC.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be like, shit, yeah. All right, we're actually going to have shit going on. We're going to be fucking doing, like, actual, like, cool shit, you know, something that matters where you feel like, okay, I didn't just waste a fucking weekend that I could have spent eating pizza and playing video games, you know, sitting and waiting for some fucking stupid sharp class or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like it was in National Guard and other reserve units and shit like that, right? No. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
The absolute same shit. Every now and then you did some cool shit. Like Operation Toy Drop is cool. Like anytime you're doing supporting shit for, you know, the active duty elements and stuff, it's cool. You actually go and do, like, you feel like you're actually doing something that actually fucking matters. But then most of the time it was just, hey, go sit in this class for this thing
Right.
that you'll literally never, ever fucking use in your entire military career. And you're literally on your way out because you're only here for your IRR.
So get this. For my annual training when I was a reservist, since we were a reception company, we went to support 120th AG in Fort Jackson, South
lovely.
Carolina.
Lovely.
So the last thing I did when I was in the reserves was supporting 120th AG in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. So
Okay.
the awesome thing was, that's where my whole story started. That's where I went to basic training.
Gotcha.
So right before I was completely done with my wearing a uniform military career,
Full circle.
full circle.
The first place you showed up was the last place you came
But
out
I
of.
maintain, okay, so the most fun thing I did in my 2 weeks of annual training, which was
Right.
30 days.
Of course.
30
2
days,
weeks a
2
year.
weeks, same thing.
Yeah.
Army math.
Yeah, you're going to be advon, and then we need you to stay late to,
Right.
Yep.
So the most fun thing I did there was the shakedowns
Right.
on the people arriving to basic training.
Nice.
Into your backpack, put all your contraband in this trash can.
Yep.
Most of these people's contraband was candy.
Yeah, candy, gum, cough drops, shit like that.
There were some questionable things that were found, but you
Yeah.
can't link them to a person.
Right.
But that was probably the most fun I ever had wearing a uniform, and that just strengthened the idea that I have that drill sergeants and former drill sergeants are the most fun people to talk to.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because when you are behind the scenes, making dog tags, doing in processing, all of that,
Right.
you get to talk to the drill sergeants without their privates around.
Yeah.
And they have the best stories.
Oh, yes. Of course they do.
The best.
I really want to find somebody I know that I knew was, on drill sergeant duty for however long, and have that, especially the ones that got extended into drill sergeant duty. They were
Right.
there for 2-3 fucking years, 4 years, some of them, right? Or ended up being the first sergeant of a fucking TRADOC company after they were a drill sergeant, shit like that, where they did so well and they volunteered. Yeah, I'll stay, because my God, TRADOC fucking eats those NCOs up.
So one of my current coworkers.
I want to have one of them on the fucking podcast.
So one of my
just to
current
ask them
coworkers
questions.
was formerly a drill sergeant.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me float that by him.
You should. Tell him we have good bourbon.
He has very good stories.
Awesome. Does he have good taste in alcohol? Well, he was a drill sergeant, yes. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
All right.
I don't know.
Sure.
You don't know what the guy drinks, so you don't really know him that well. All right. That's fine.
I know him. I just don't know what he drinks.
Listen, I would consider you a close friend, right? You've literally lived in my house. You know what kind of alcohol I like, right?
Yeah.
And I know what kind of alcohol
All
you
types.
like. That's a certain level of friendship.
It's the kind of alcohol that has alcohol in it.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
But you didn't say that about him. So you don't know. You're not that close.
He likes alcohol.
He does?
I mean, he's a coworker. Well, I don't go to his house.
But you said he was a friend.
No, I said.
So this guy's
coworker.
not even your friend? That's fucked up.
He
You're
could
not-
be.
You can't win this, Brandon. You can't win this.
He could be, but he's never been to my house.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I
I've
can't use that.
never been to
You've
your
never been to
house.
my house.
I've never been to your last 2 houses.
Correct.
I never went to your house before you moved into the house you're in now.
And you were invited
I was. I for shame.
for
now, mind
my
you,
birthday.
wait, when? How long ago?
On his birthday.
That's when I still lived in.
Oh,
Rayford.
you don't know his birthday, huh?
Yeah, I do know his birthday. I literally told him happy belated birthday, literally earlier today.
Because you got the Facebook notification?
No, because my wife reminded me. I knew around when it was. When's my birthday?
Sometime in the year.
That's right. See, real friends don't fucking bother themselves with that shit. We're not in a goddamn relationship. When's our friend anniversary? No, you don't fucking do that.
I don't even know his birthday.
Yeah, he's my fucking uncle. I don't know what
Our
the fuck your
friend
birthday
anniversary-
is. Isn't your birthday in June?
July.
July, okay. I was close.
Yeah.
Estimate when mine is.
Our
Yeah.
One
Throw out a month.
that has letters.
Throw out a month.
Throughout a month. October and
It's November. See,
Yeah.
we were both just as close as each other. One
our
month
friend
off.
anniversary is January 16th, 2009,
all right. That's
which I completely just made up.
okay. I was gonna say
That's
that's a little weird, man.
It's pretty close though.
You're close by a year
That's pretty close.
within the year because it was December of 2009.
okay.
Yeah, is when we met. December of 2009 is when I started at the hardware shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
And I'd only been there for, no, actually it would have been 2010 because I had been there for at least 2 months before I met you. No, it might have been because
you would come over to do some work.
Right. I met you way before the 25 Bravo course. Yeah, you're right. So it probably was December 2009. So you got the year right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I completely remember the very first thing you came to my building for, and it was something in our SJA office.
I had to re-image a computer.
In the SJA office.
And the computer was not there.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. That might not be the one.
That's also what I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember any more details than that.
I had to re-image a computer, and I got there, and I was looking for the computer, and I'm like, where is this computer? And then we were able to determine that the computer was not there. And I'm like, where's the computer? And nobody knew. Nobody knew why the computer wasn't there. It's not like, oh, so-and-so took this laptop over there. No, it was, I don't know. Well, it's the computer's supposed to be right here in this room. It's assigned to your office. Who sits at this desk? Me. Where's your computer? I don't know.
But I think sensitive items.
What? No, I think what had ended up happening, if I remember correctly, which I don't know if this is that specific case or not, was that a work order had gotten put in previously by someone else on his behalf, and they came and picked up the computer because when they came to reimage it, there was something physically fucked up with it. So they had to take the computer. So the computer was actually in my office. I just didn't know.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, it happened a lot actually. I went to go and
that's why I have to put notes in the tickets.
I went to do a change request at SWIC headquarters, Delta 3206, on like the 4th floor, I think. I went to go install a new printer. It was a change request. Take the old printer out, put the new printer in, set it up, put it on the network, right? I get there, and I wasn't looking at the printer models. I just knew old printer's there, needs to get decommissioned, and then new printer gets installed. Well, the asshole IMO that worked on that floor at the time decided to take the old printer, unplug it, and plug in the new printer and put it in its place. So when I get there, I was like, all right, so this is the old printer. I was like, kind of seems new, but whatever. That shit happens all the time.
Did you swap it back out for the old one?
No. I went in, factory reset it, unplugged everything, pulled the printer down, wrapped up all the cables and wires and everything, and I'm waiting for the IMO to meet me there. And I'm waiting for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck? This lady's supposed to be here and bring me the new printer. And she shows up and she's like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, installing your new printer. I just need the new printer. She's like, well, that's it. She had literally decommissioned the old printer, factory reset the old printer, physically took it down, unplugged everything, and then put the new printer in and plugged everything in. And I'm like, you do realize that you're not supposed to do that, right? And you do realize that now that port's shut off because Sticky Mac.
Oh, yeah.
So now I have to call networking, which I would have had to have done anyway to, give them the MAC address and all that so that the new printer could get put on the network. But at the same time, I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, come on, dude. You're killing me. But anyway, I ended up having to uncoil all the wires, put the printer back up. And I had already pulled the cartridges out, put them in a box, fuck everything. The printer wasn't dismantled, but it was decommissioned,
Right.
I'm like, fuck. So I put everything back together. I put the printer back up there and then get it installed. And then you have to do a test page and make sure it's got its IP configuration and all this, that, and the other, right? So I get everything done. And for whatever reason, it's having issues with with the magenta cartridge, right? And you're talking these big cartridges that are this fucking long, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I pull it out. I'm like checking the heads and everything looks good and everything. I put it back in, let it cycle through. I reboot it a couple of times and it's still not working, right? The test page is still showing errors. It won't read the magenta thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm like, oh, you know what? When she did this, she probably didn't take the little safety tab, the shipping tab off the back or whatever, so it's not reading it. And I look, it's off. It's not there. I'm like, fuck, man, what is going on? All the pulling out and shifting it around and this, that, and there. And then finally I'm like, man, this fucking thing is pissing me off. So I open the fucking front panel, I pull it out, and it goes and blows up fucking pink powder everywhere all over me, all over the carpet, all over the fucking side of the cubicle, everywhere. And I'm just like, if she had not fucking taken this thing out of the box, which she wasn't supposed to, none of this shit would have happened. It's like Junior biting Tina's ass. It was the catalyst for everything to go wrong.
At least it wasn't your carpet.
And it was her fault. Yeah, you're right. At least it wasn't my
I was
carpet.
dared.
And I was tasked.
I was told I would get more alcohol.
Well, I was told I was going to get paid to do the job, which I did, but still. But no, that's fun times. Fun times at USASOC and SWIC and all that other good shit.
Good, clean fun.
Yeah, good, clean,
Clean
Christian fun. So anyway, did you think of any more stories you wanted to tell? Any good, clean, fun ones?
Gee, let's see.
Steal another one from you.
All right, good, clean fun.
At this point, you're bumming off of me.
Had a lady get on my bus one day.
All right, if it's sexually explicit, I just need to go ahead and
You
preface
just
this
said good, clean
with,
fun.
I gotta
got it.
preface this with, if it's sexually explicit, you need to tell all the details.
Oh, okay. All right, so this woman.
No. So there's this bottle.
There's this bottle of Gallium. No. So this woman gets on my bus, and she asks me.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
How long did she ride? Never mind. Go ahead.
All the way to the end. She asks me if I'm going to, are you going to that, oh, hell, you know where I'm going, right? And I'm like, wait, what? And she goes, you know where I'm going. I was like,
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Wherever you get off this bus is where you're fucking going.
She goes, the was it the drug
Yeah, you're
store?
right about that, Mike.
I forgot whether it was she was looking for the drugstore or she was looking for the nail salon, but I think it was the drugstore. Do you go to that drugstore? And I'm like,
Which fucking one?
I drive about 6 miles of Merrick Boulevard, and there's got to be at least 15 different drugstores there. Which one are you talking about? She goes, oh, come on. Oh, you know the one. You know the one.
Walgreens?
No, you know
Eckerd?
the one. No.
Revco?
No.
The corner?
That's a classic.
The one next to the nail salon. And
Wait, are you talking about your route through fucking Flushing?
no, I'm talking about my route through South Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
So literally 14 nail salons between
Per
each
block.
stop.
Per
Yeah.
block.
Yeah.
So it's just drugstore, nail salon, drugstore, nail salon.
Literally.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sitting at a traffic light when she comes up with the nail salon thing, and I turn and I look at her, and I'm looking at my hands. I go, do I look like the kind of person that goes to a
nail
nail
salon.
salon? And she,
Or the hair salon.
She goes, oh, come on. It's down here. It's right down here. It's right down here. I was like, okay, stand here and just look. And when you see it, let me know, and I'll stop at the next bus stop. And as we're going down the road a little bit, like maybe a mile and a half, it's right here. It's right, but it's a mile and a half down. She goes, there it is. And it was the tiniest mom and pop freaking drugstore that
Of course
ever
you knew
created.
about it.
That
one.
ever existed. And probably the last mom and pop drugstore in New York.
Right.
It was, the storefront was maybe 15 feet wide.
Wow.
20 feet wide at the most.
Yeah.
And the nail salon that it was next to was about 4 feet wide.
Jesus.
And I'm like, and you thought I would know where that is? I said, do you see the size of all the... Oh, come on, And then...
It's the one next to the bodega. Over by the
Exactly.
pizza place?
Exactly.
You know where I'm talking
All right.
about.
Well, now wait a minute. Merrick Boulevard, there aren't many pizza
I'm just talking
places.
about in New York in general.
Right.
Yeah, you know the place.
And
There's a bar like right down the street from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then this
Oh,
other
yeah, that place.
Famous Rays, Original Rays, Famous Original Rays.
original famous Rays. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then this other
Sbarro.
lady. Yeah.
And Rays 2.
Yep. This other lady gets on my bus and asks me, can I get I forget what route I was doing. It was down Merrick Boulevard again, so I was doing probably the Q5, and she wanted to know where to get the Q84 or something. I was like, yeah, you can get that from here, not a problem. I said, I'll make a right on Merrick, and I go all the way down, and you catch it at when you hear me say whatever the intersection was.
Right.
It's only been 6 years since I drove a bus, and I don't remember any of the cross streets.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, when you hear me announce, Farmers Boulevard, that's where you get off. Oh, no. I was like, wait, what? And she goes, no, that can't be. I was like, no, that's it. The bus, whatever one she was looking for, goes from that point there to that point there. I said, and that's where you want to go is right there. No, that can't be right. I was like, ma'am, I've been driving the buses around here for a couple of years now, and I know the area pretty good. And I'm
See it every day.
I'm telling you, that's how you would get to that spot. And she goes, no, that's not what I was told. I was like, well, what were you told? Well, I was told, and I forget what she told me. She told me some crazy directions, and I was like, who told you that?
Then get a fucking cab.
Who told you that? Joe told me that.
Oh, Joe.
I was like, okay.
He works at the fucking nail salon next to the fucking the drugstore.
That drugstore.
The fucking, you know where he's talking.
Joe,
Yeah.
Joe, the guy. Now, I got to reverse a little bit. She's from Brooklyn. She's a complete another borough away.
Right.
And so Joe told her how to get there.
Of course.
The guy that walks up and down the blocks in her neighborhood and picks up
in Brooklyn
the empty bottles
in Brooklyn.
and cans
Yeah.
in Brooklyn told her exactly what bus to get and how to get to where she needed to go.
Yeah.
And so she tried to confirm it with the bus driver.
Why didn't she just have him fucking drive her there
wheel
in his
her
shopping
there
cart?
in his car? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which, ironically, his shopping cart came from Walgreens.
Walgreens, right.
Yeah.
In Jamaica.
In Jamaica, yeah.
There are some crazy people riding those buses, boy. That's for sure.
So I got a crazy story, and funny enough, it actually involves a lot of the same stuff that you were talking about.
You drove a bus in New York?
No.
Oh, wait. You bit Tina's ass, too?
No. But
you should. It's really nice.
There was a woman named Tina present at the bar who was the bartender at the time. And one of our viewers right now, Tank Top, was also there. And he's going to either love me for telling the story or hate me for telling the story. Either way, I'm okay with it. So there I was. No shit, there I was. At Drunk Horse Pub in downtown Fayetteville.
No.
Having a couple drinks, and there was probably like 5 or 6 people total in the entire bar. You know, it was one of those chill hangout nights on like a Thursday or something like that.
Anybody else finishing it?
No, go for it, man. It's all you. I got more over here. And I actually have some Glenlivet if you want to. And it's the cognac cask if you want to crack it open. 14-year.
I will take that liberty.
Yeah, let's do it. So, this is Tank Top says you probably remember it better than I do. So, needless to say, a bunch of us were there drinking, and some of us got a little too intoxicated, and we had somebody who worked there who just happened to have experience waxing people's assholes, right? Like literally waxing the hair out of people's assholes. So somehow it got brought up.
What the hell do you do that for?
There was a bet. See, this is why it's similar to you, right? And it's way more similar than you think, and I'll get to that in just a second. There was a bet that he wouldn't get his asshole waxed there at the bar on a pool table, not unlike this one. It's not this one, but not unlike this one. on Facebook Live.
Wow.
Get his asshole waxed, right? Now, mind you, the camera angle had to maintain the front the front side so that his asshole wasn't on. But he literally got his asshole waxed on Facebook Live on a bet.
What was the bet? I mean,
he would have to tell us the terms of the bet. But it was a bet.
It better be more than 2 bottles of beer and 2 depth charges.
I think he
was
$20
worth of drinks.
Yeah, I think he had already had enough drinks that the bet didn't matter. It was just the
but
shock,
still.
the shock factor of doing
All right, the shock value for everybody else involved and anybody that ever heard the story after that. Absolutely,
so,
I get it. But
so I'm sitting there drinking at the end of the bar, and they're over here to my left, and I'm sitting there talking to the bartender, Christina. And I'm like, I can't fucking believe that this is happening right now, right? And there's like 3-4 people over here all like, oh my God, waxing his asshole on Facebook Live, right? And it's hilarious. But at the same time, I'm sitting there, I'm like, the level of inebriation I'd have to be to get my asshole waxed, let alone at a bar on a pool table by somebody I knew.
Let alone being streamed.
Like on Facebook Live, the levels of I'd never do that are just piling on, right? And I'm like, more power to this guy, right? And he says, if I remember correctly, it was a handle of Jack and a handle of vodka. All right, two handles of liquor. All right.
You're talking about a beer mug, right? A handle?
No.
What's a handle?
A handle is a big bottle of liquor that has a
handle.
handle.
Half gallon?
Yeah, they're half gallon.
They're
So
half
a gallon of
half-
liquor.
A gallon.
He was doing it for a gallon of liquor.
And how long ago was this?
Oh shit! Probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
So you guys
At
weren't
what
young.
level of handle?
You know, I don't know the specifics. You'll have to reference Tank Top in the chat, and we'll get in. Maybe when he flies in from Colorado, we'll have him on the podcast, and he can explain.
Let me know. I'll be here.
All right, you got it. I'll let you know. So basically, here's where a lot of the similarities start syncing up, and you'll understand. I'm sitting there at the bar, and I'm, of course, talking shit the entire time to him, right? And I'm like, wow, dude, I can't believe you're doing this. You're fucking, you're a whore for attention. You're a glutton for punishment, and I'm making fun of him. That's what you do. We're friends. I'm going to fuck with him. He's getting his asshole waxed on a pool table
Whether he's
at
your
a dive
friend,
bar in Fayetteville
whether
on
he's
a
your
Wednesday,
friend or not.
on a Wednesday night for, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, that's fucking great. That's what other opportunity are you going to have where the guy can't fucking move? Otherwise he's going to get half his asshole torn out, right? Like, come on, you got to fuck with him a little bit, right? So then, as I'm sitting there criticizing him, there's this woman at the bar. I won't say her name or whatever. Apparently, she regrets this or what. I don't fucking care. I don't.
Oh, I think I know
I
her.
don't deal with her at all anymore. So anyway, there's this woman at the bar.
She obviously
and
knew you.
she is drunk, right?
No.
Beyond the normal level of her drinking, right? And she's just in a shitty mood for whatever reason, right? And she's sitting over on the other side of the bar. And it's an L-shaped bar. I'm sitting at the short end, the short L end, right? And she's all the way over on the other side. And she gets sick of me talking shit. And she takes it like personally, like, why don't you fucking go over there and help if you don't think they're doing it right or whatever, some shit like that. And I was like, because I'm not gay, right? I'm making a joke, like I'm not going to go whack some other man's asshole. Like, come on, dude. Like,
no matter what you pay me.
And because I said that, she has a brother who's gay, right?
Uh-oh.
Like somehow I just took a stab at the entire gay community by saying, because I'm not gay, I'm not going to go wax another man's asshole like one of my friends, right? Her response to that is a logical, reasonable response, which was in turn to stand up, scream and yell at me. It all got caught on the Facebook Live broadcast. Scream and yell at me, call me a cocksucking piece of shit and a fucking homophobe and this, that, and the other. Pick up her bar stool and throw it at me, which didn't make it halfway over the bar, like it just, and then fell. And everyone's like, whoa, hey, calm down, chill out. And then pick up her beer bottle and throw it at me from across the bar.
Nice.
And I had to duck. I ducked and I dodged it. I was good, right?
You see, they don't hurt as much as you think.
Then I then I stand up. Mind you, there's now a fucking initiated bar fight between a drunk woman and a half sober man. that are like 35 fucking meters apart, right?
Right.
Like on opposite sides of the building, while a man is getting his asshole waxed on a pool table on a Wednesday night. I have to say it like that every time. On a Wednesday night.
The best things happen on Wednesday night. The
Exactly,
Galliano bottle was a Wednesday night.
There you go. You know, and literally now the people's attention are from Mike's getting his asshole waxed on Facebook Live to this woman's throwing beer bottles at Tom. Like, what the fuck's going on? And then, so finally, one of the guys that was working security, right, walks over and he's like, yo, what the fuck? And like, hey, let's go outside. Let's go. You know, you need to go chill out or whatever. And she left the bar and left the entire time. And I was very understanding. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, she had a bad day or something and she's super drunk. I've never seen her act that way before. It was way out of her character. So I wasn't going to take it like super seriously or whatever. And I was like, I'm glad you took her out of here. And somebody had said, why? And I was like, because I was going to beat the fuck out of her. And I got dirty looks and, are you fucking serious? You'd hit? I was like, oh, fuck yeah. She threw a fucking bottle at me. If she had made
a stool or
if she had made it over here, I was going to fucking rail her in her goddamn face. I don't care. You don't throw a fucking beer bottle at someone in a bar and then, oh, well, it's a girl, so it's a... No, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't care.
If you act like a man and step to me like a man,
and
that's how you get treated.
I actually had a couple people who were pissed at me for saying that. And I was like, I didn't even fucking do it, and you're treating me like I fucking did it, right? Yeah. Like, I didn't put my hands on her because she was no longer a threat. Security came in and grabbed her and took her outside. Okay. It's not a vindictive, like, aggressive, like, oh, she threw a beer bottle at me, so now I'm going to go punch her. No, it was, if she had come over here and continued to be a threat to me, I don't give a fuck who it is.
Right. I'm going to defend myself until you're no longer a threat.
You're goddamn right.
Yep.
And then it's done.
And I didn't even have to bite her on the ass for that to happen.
You know, it is a lot more fun that way.
Should have.
But somehow she took offense to me saying, because I'm not fucking gay, about helping wax my friend's asshole.
Nope.
She took offense to that because her brother's gay and got bullied for being gay or something like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? If your brother was in this bar right now and somebody was over there saying, you know, calling him names and making fun of him for being gay, I'd go over there and punch that motherfucker in the face. I don't give a shit. You don't do that. You don't fucking, you don't ridicule someone or make fun of somebody or whatever because it's something that they are or whatever. Like, who fucking cares? Like, I would have fucking defended that girl's brother.
Right.
If somebody was in there being way out of line towards him or something like that. I would have. But she's treating me like I was the guy that was bullying her brother. I'm like, because I said I'm not going to help wax my friend's asshole on a Wednesday night on a pool table in a dive bar in Fayetteville. Because I'm not gay. Because I'm not fucking gay. I was joking. Like, come on, man.
I gotta ask.
If Mike had asked me, if Mike had asked me to help wax his asshole, I would have done it.
But why? I gotta ask though. Why do you get your ass waxed?
It's a gallon of liquor.
No, wait. No,
I can think of worse things.
I understand that, but
why does a profession exist?
Why does? Yeah,
that's a great question.
Are there people who have so much hair coming out of their ass that it gets tangled up?
I don't know, Mike. Maybe you can enlighten us. How much hair is generally in your ass? I mean, is that generally a problem for you? Was this just an exploitation of situational means?
Yeah, not necessarily him, but why do? And I can understand why maybe some women do, but why would a guy?
No fucking clue.
I mean,
it's an experience.
I don't know. Ask her.
Maybe
we should.
I'd rather have another beer bottle busted across my head.
Maybe ask that girl's brother. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe I should look up. Maybe I should look up Tina and see if she knows. Hey Tina, you may not remember me, but
I don't know. That was the mid '80s. I don't know if Tina would be the same Tina you remember.
Or
she could be.
If she's half of what she was back then, damn.
It makes me wonder if Tina has a Facebook.
Well, depending on how large,
I wouldn't know what her last name was.
Depending on how large of a bite you took out of her, she might be half of what she was then.
I took a nice bite. I had teeth back then. So, yeah.
All right, and on that note, It's 7:30. So what I'd like to do is real quick, if everybody has a drink.
I got you.
If everybody has a drink. Jared, you got a drink? Sure. He's not on camera. He's got a drink. Yeah,
He's got
just
his
say
drink.
he's got a drink, right? So I just wanted to go ahead and real quickly just do a toast to a great man. His name's Joe Bird. He passed away recently, and just wanted to do a quick toast to him. He was a career law enforcement guy, all around amazing guy, amazing father. His family misses him very much. His friends miss him very much, and he's taken way too early, 60 years old. So just wanted to raise a glass and say to Joe.
To Joe.
To Joe. All right. And on that somber note, since neither of you have been on the podcast before, we do this little thing at the very end that we call Final Thoughts. Have you ever seen The Daily Show with Jon Stewart?
Yes.
At the very end of The Daily Show, he does the moment of Zen. Anything you want to say, short little blurb or anything like that? Final thoughts, Brandon, go.
Sure. Well, considering it seems like either the best time or the worst time to go out to a bar is on a Wednesday.
There you go. Depending on which side of the story you end up on, it's the best or the worst night to go to the bar.
Yeah, if you're Tina's boyfriend, it wasn't a good night to be out drinking, that's for sure. If you were Tina, it wasn't a good night to be out drinking.
But,
Me and Chris thought it was the best night to be out drinking.
Wednesdays, check them out at your local bar.
That's right. Well, all the bars are closed now. Thanks, Kevin. So, Junior, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I would have to say hang out with your friends, drink bourbon.
There you go.
And I'm glad I was a bus driver and a bouncer because, when I do hit that age where I might be in a nursing home, which is never going to happen. Nobody I know has enough money for that.
That's right.
I'll be on somebody's like side porch or something like that, duct taped to a freaking swing.
Telling stories.
I've got the best stories, and I don't care if there's nobody there to hear me.
We're definitely having you on again. Our viewers absolutely fucking love you and your stories.
Really,
so
the 6.5 people on there.
Yeah, we had quite a few people stop in. So record numbers.
I think because of me. Nah,
I didn't say because of you.
Oh.
That's just a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
But the people that were here, they loved you. So we're definitely having you back on.
All right. I'll be
Jared, final thoughts.
If you're going to mess with butts in a bar, get ready for the beer bottles.
Wear a helmet.
If you are A, biting, or B, waxing an ass in a bar on a Wednesday night, be prepared to duck from the beer bottle. Yeah. Thank you, Jared. That was excellent final thought. My final thoughts are that you guys need to prepare yourselves for the YouTube channel Ballistic Liberty. It is going to be coming at you fast. It's going to be coming at you hard. Not necessarily in that order. Just want to let you know that Jared's new YouTube channel, Ballistic Liberty, is going to be reviewing firearms, different firearm configurations, doing instructional videos, different accessories and builds, how you can build certain things, where you can find certain products, and how they can improve your firearm platform. He's also going to be doing accuracy tests on these different platforms, different optics, things of that nature, doing live fire demos on a lot of this stuff in real time. So definitely check him out, Ballistic Liberty. His channel should be launching here sometime in the next couple weeks, and we'll have some cool content on there for you. And Jared has actually asked me to be on the channel with him. So we're going to be doing some cool shit. I might be a cameraman, might shoot a couple rounds. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But if anybody wants to check out some cool builds, some budget builds and things of that nature, some alternative firearms accessories that won't break your bank, check out Ballistic Liberty. He's also doing some cool giveaways. He's got a Is it Strike Industries?
It is Strike Industries.
Strike
charging
Industries charging handle that he's going to be doing a giveaway on off of his first video, and all you got to do is like, subscribe, and share. So definitely check that out in the coming up weeks. He'll have some stuff posted. So go follow his channel now if you get a chance. He's actually posted in the chat. He's trying to obfuscate himself from being Jared and say this is the best podcast on YouTube, even though he's the producer for the podcast. So a little self-promotion there. Shameless. No big deal. But thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Definitely tune in for next episode. We're going to have some more great guests on. Thank you, Brandon, for coming by and being on. We'll definitely have you back and get a 528 sustainment patch. That's one I definitely want on that fucking wall. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. I'll bring you a tombstone.
And Uncle Junior, definitely come back on, man. Come hang out.
I'll be here.
Even if you're
bourbon.
not on,
There's bourbon.
There's always bourbon. So
yep.
Even if you're not coming on, come hang out and bullshit with us and sit in. Rotate people out or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get some stuff going. So thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the next episode of Fat Bearded Veteran TV Podcast. Peace.